Hey everyone, and welcome right into today's Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're joining me because we have a truly fantastic storybook adventure to unfold. We're going to step directly into a beautiful papercraft-style animated world to explore an amazing tale. So let's just dive right into the magic.
Now, before we actually meet our hero, I want you to really think about a super tough question. If you only had one single chocolate bar for the entire year, how on earth would you make it last? Would you just gobble it all up in one giant delicious bite? Or would you try to save it, maybe just taking a tiny little nibble every now and then? Hold on to that thought because it's going to be really important for our story.
Chapter 1. Meet Prince's Big Family.
All right, first up, we have four very important, very old, and, well, very tired people. We've got Grandpa Robert and Grandma Ava, along with Grandpa James and Grandma Arya. And get this, these lovely grandparents are so tired that they all share the exact same bed. Grandpa Robert and Grandma Ava take one side, and Grandpa James and Grandma Arya take the other. They just huddle up under those thick, cozy blankets all day long.
And then there's our hero, Little Prince. He is the son of Mr. and Mrs. William. Prince is just an awesome kid. He completely adores his giant family of 7, and he has so much respect for his grandparents. He's sweet, he's kind, but as we're about to see, his life isn't exactly easy.
Chapter 2. Life in a Tiny House.
So picture this setup. You've got 7 grown-ups and 1 little boy all living together in a tiny, tiny wooden house on the edge of town. 7 people, but only 2 rooms in the entire place, and just 1 single bed. As we know, the 4 grandparents get the bed because they're older and need the rest. So what about Mr. and Mrs. William and Little Prince? Well, they have to sleep in the other room, right on the floor on these super thin mattresses.
Now, you might be thinking, why not just move to a bigger house? Well, Prince's dad, Mr. William, is actually the only person in the whole family who has a job. He works in a toothpaste factory. All day long, he sits at a bench and just screws the little caps onto the tops of toothpaste tubes. Twist, twist, twist. But unfortunately, twisting toothpaste caps doesn't pay very well. No matter how hard he works or how fast he screws on those caps, poor Mr. William just can't make nearly enough money to buy even half of the things his large family needs.
Because of that, the family is incredibly poor. I mean, they don't even have enough money for proper food. Let's talk about what they eat every single day. For breakfast, just bread and margarine. For lunch, boiled potatoes and cabbage. And for supper, cabbage soup. That is literally it, day in and day out. The only tiny bit of good news is that on Sundays, everyone is allowed a second helping. But still, every single person in that family walks around from morning till night with a horrible, empty feeling in their tummies.
Brr. And just imagine the freezing winter wind blowing right across the floor where they sleep at night. It's totally rough. But even in the cold, Mr. and Mrs. William always look at Prince with so much warmth. Even though they are starving, Prince's parents often sacrifice their own share of lunch or supper, literally going without food, just so they can give it to him. But you know, for a growing boy, cabbage soup is never quite enough.
Chapter 3. 1 chocolate bar a year.
Because more than anything else in the entire world, Prince longed for chocolate. It was basically torture for him. Walking to school in the mornings, Prince would pass shop windows piled high with huge, glorious slabs of chocolate. He would just stop and stare, pressing his nose against the glass, his mouth watering like crazy. He'd watch other kids taking creamy chocolate bars out of their pockets and munching on them right in front of him. For a kid with an empty tummy, that is hands down the hardest thing to watch.
But hey, once a year, pure magic happened. For his birthday, his whole family would scrape together their pennies to buy Prince 1 small chocolate bar, all for himself. And the way he treats it is incredible. First, he places it carefully in a small wooden box, guarding it like it's a bar of solid gold. For days, he just looks at it. Then, finally, he peels back a tiny, tiny bit of the paper at the corner. He takes just 1 little nibble, letting that sweet taste spread slowly over his tongue. The next day, he takes another tiny nibble. By doing this, Prince makes his little 6-penny birthday chocolate last for more than a whole month. It's absolutely amazing.
Chapter 4. The Enormous Chocolate Factory.
Because right there, actually within sight of Prince's tiny wooden house, was an enormous chocolate factory. And this wasn't just any regular factory, guys. This was the largest, most famous chocolate factory in the whole wide world.
This place wasn't just big, it was magical. It was owned by Mr. Marshmallow, literally the greatest chocolate inventor ever. Just imagine this incredible place. The whole factory is surrounded by a super high wall and these massive iron gates. Deep inside, you can hear strange whizzing and whirring sounds and watch heavy smoke belching from giant chimneys. But the absolute best part? For half a mile around in every single direction, the air is scented with the heavy, rich smell of melting chocolate. Twice a day, Prince walks right past those gates. He walks very, very slowly, holds his nose high in the air, and takes long, deep sniffs of that gorgeous chocolatey smell. Oh man, he wished he could just go inside and see what it was like.
Chapter 5. Love Makes a Family Rich.
You know, there's a really beautiful lesson wrapped up in this story. Even in the smallest of homes and the hardest of times, love and sacrifice make a family truly rich. Prince didn't have money, he didn't have a big house, and he definitely didn't have a full tummy. But he had a family who loved him enough to give up their own food for him, and who saved every single penny they had just to bring him one chocolate bar on his birthday. That kind of pure love? That's worth way more than all the chocolate in the world.
But guess what? The story doesn't end here. I want to leave you with one final magical question to really get your imagination going today. As you picture those huge iron gates, what do you think is actually hiding inside Mr. Marshmallow's enormous factory? Beyond the smoke and those weird whizzing sounds, what kind of chocolatey magic is waiting to be discovered? Keep dreaming, keep wondering, and thank you so much for joining me for this storybook adventure today. Until next time, stay curious.